State lawmakers investigating the cause of the deadly and largest wildfire in Texas. They're taking their hearings to the Panhandle. Next Tuesday is the first day of 3 days of public hearings. I'm Monica Madden joining us now this afternoon to give us a little insight. So, Mon, thanks for being with us. Who's on the committee and what do we expect to hear?
Hey, Jen, it is a 3-member panel of state lawmakers, and then there are 2 members from the public. So Representative Ken King, he's from Canadian, which of course was really affected by this fire. He's the chair of the committee. I spoke with him earlier today. And then Representative Dustin Burrows of Lubbock and Representative Todd Hunter of Corpus Christi. The 2 members of the public are Jason Abraham and Ashley Cash. And so they will be tasked with looking into the causes of the fire and also figuring out what can be done in the future in terms of how the state can prepare for these things, have enough resources that are dispatchable at the right place and the right time. And they'll be meeting over 3 days this week to hear from the public, have invited testimony, and look for solutions and answers to the worst and largest wildfire in the state's history.
And speaking of testimony, who do we expect will testify?
We're going to be hearing a lot from first responders who were actually on the ground dealing with this fire. Remember, it took weeks for firefighters to put out. A lot of that was due to they were battling the elements. When the fire first started, Representative King was telling me there were issues of getting people on airplanes and getting the airplanes to, come by and drop the water. They didn't have that infrastructure ready to go. And there's a process of, getting a contract and contracting these things out. So they're going to be looking at, is that something that we can have in the future? Representative King floated the idea of having almost a Air Force, if you will, of first responders ready to roll when there are fires, since this is a problem we see year after year in Texas. So we're going to be hearing from first responders. We will also be hearing from leaders in these communities, think county judges, sheriffs, other people who were part of that response and have, the numbers for this committee of how much was lost. We know a lot of cattle was lost, property, injuries, all of those sorts of things. And then also the members of the public will be invited to come and comment on, I believe, Thursday's hearing. Tuesday and Wednesday are invited testimony only. Public can still attend, but then on Wednesday, the public can also come and testify to the committee as well.
Okay, and speaking of the committee, we know that several lawmakers will be there. Do we expect any type of legislative change to come out of these hearings?
I think, this is very much something we can expect to see bills drafted from either members of this committee. I imagine Representative King, being from Canadian, is going to draft a legislation in response. He talked about a frustration that the Panhandle feels of, having these wildfires be a repetitive problem, but then although they have addressed some solutions in the past, really hasn't been enough. And again, he said a lot of that comes down to having the right resources available to dispatch at the right time. He said, unlike a hurricane or other natural disasters, flooding that you see, there is a lot that the state can do to prepare on the back end and be ready to fight these fires and put them out. Of course, there's the aspect too of how it started. We will also be, looking at possible accountability for Xcel Energy has acknowledged that some of their infrastructure was involved in igniting the fire, although they haven't taken full responsibility for all of these fires. So I do think that we will see legislation coming out of this. Of course, King told me that 140 days during the regular session isn't enough time to tackle some of these big, complicated, deep issues. So that's why the committee is starting their work now, and he'll be ready to file legislation once lawmakers return for the 89th session that starts in January of 2025.
All right, Monica Madden, thank you so much for your insight this afternoon.
Thanks, Jen.